Hello, everyone. Laura from the future. I am talking to you as I edit this episode. So, a little bit about this episode that I have. It's actually originally was recorded as a live episode for Novel Nights, which is every Thursday nights. I join my friends Victoria and Francesca, and we have a live show on YouTube and Facebook where we chat about book recommendations, tips and tricks on how to be a more effective reader and everything else in between. So in this episode, we're talking about the difference between Kindle and Kindle Unlimited and all this different terminologies. So if you're new to being an e-reader, or you're thinking, you're like, what is the difference between a Kindle book and a Kindle Unlimited and everything in between, this episode I've answered those frequently asked questions. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll talk to you later.
Welcome back to Novel Nights, our weekly live show. We're really excited because we're talking all things Kindle today, Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle, if you've been thinking about getting a Kindle, hello, Black Friday, Christmas, holidays, put in your request. But if you're an avid Kindle reader, we have some exciting recommendations for you all. Like we said at the top, we're here to chat Kindle today. And if you've watched any video with me ever, I've always said Laura is my guru, okay? Anytime I have any questions about Kindle actually, let me start from the beginning. She influenced me to buy a Kindle, right? So the actual Kindle I own, which, hold on, yep. The actual Kindle that I own is courtesy of Laura. Okay, so Laura's the reason I have a Kindle. Laura influences me as a Kindle, tells me how to use a Kindle, just everything, what to do. She even gave me my first couple of Kindle recommendations. So yeah, that's what today's episode is all about. But I really want to throw it to her so she can just do a Kindle introduction, just in case you, like me, were new once upon a time. So Laura, take the wheel.
All right. So first things first, we got to talk about what's the difference between a Kindle, Kindle Limited, Obo ebook, Nook, and everything else.
Yes.
Essentially, it's e-readers. So around 2010, Amazon introduced the idea of e-readers, where you get a paper, you get a PDF form. It's called an EPUB right now, and basically you can read the book. Essentially, the same thing. It's supposed to be cheaper, but really costs the same price as like paying for the book itself. So if you're reading in the US, you're likely to know about Kindle, which is the Kindle. They're just all bookstore. You can buy it on Amazon. There are other systems like Kobo, which are mainly international. Libraries send ebooks through Kobo, as in the US is through Kindle. But the Kindle, you can use an actual e-reader like Victoria has. You can show your kid your e-reader, or you can actually use the. So the app works in tablets like iPad, Samsung, Android tablets. You can read on your phone. You can read on the web, just in the web version of it, or you can read it on your Peloton. They actually added the Kindle reader. You can read while riding your bike. So essentially, you're just like reading books as it does. You can buy books. You can also get them for your library, as I mentioned, in the US. Other countries, it might be other process, might be Kobo and whatnot. And essentially, you just read books online. It's the same way as reading it like a physical book. It's just the same idea. The information is the same. Nothing changes. It's just a way. If you're actually one of those people who like to have bigger font, I actually enjoy e-reader better because I can actually increase the font size. As opposed to in a book, you cannot increase the font size. If you have struggled with, I know a lot of people says like, I've been on screen all day. It's like, what should I do? Kindle e-reader. I would say Paperwhite or e-reader, e-ink is different because it does not have blue light. It's essentially like reading a paper. And it works well. It doesn't have glare. You can take it to the beach. It doesn't have any issues. Most of them are waterproof. So there's different models that you can get. You can start with the basic model and it works perfectly fine. I would also recommend, if you're going to buy e-reader, to just don't bother buying the most amount of memory. A lot of times like, I need to have 32 gigabytes. And like, you really don't. You can be fine with 8. And my e-reader, about $5,000, and I'm still with 8, and I still have memory. So that tells you something. So you don't need to buy a lot of memories because a lot of you don't need to use it. I personally use the iPad. I've been a Kindle e-ink reader for a long time, but I found the iPad to be much better for me. So there's different ways you can read them, but you can read them on the go. What I like about Kindle It's because when I was in 2016, I was in a weird job situation. I was like, I had really a lot of like a lot of free time. And so I discovered that I can actually just download books, like read a book on my phone, finish the book, and go to Amazon and download the next book and the next book and the next book. And so somehow that year I ended up reading like 300 books. Kid you not, because I was just able to just consume them right away. And I can consume them at any point where it was online. I can just pick up the book and read the book. I can go down the street and like, hey, I have like waiting in the doctor's office. I can just like pick the book there. It does nothing to carry on. You can find the book on your phone. You can get your iPad. You can have your e-reader. And it's just like a great place to read on the go.
So I have a question. So for folks out there, let's kind of do a mini recap. So you have Kindle, so Kindle Unlimited, you can do it on your phone if you want to. You can do it on an e-reader if you want to. Just download the app or tablet and your big computer. You can sign up for Kindle Unlimited and read from Kindle Unlimited.
So this is separate. So Kindle is Kindle and Unlimited is different. So Kindle is any book that you can actually show up on, you buy on Amazon, you see a paper copy or hard copy. Chances are there's an ebook version of it that you can purchase. You can purchase a book at any time. There's also the libraries actually has an app called Libby, where you can borrow the ebook from the library and they send it over to your Kindle. So it's like instant gratification. That was one of the things. I don't have to wait for shipping. I don't have to wait for a mailbox and get book mail. I can just get my book like 2 minutes. I'm like, I kind of want to have this book right now, and I just get it like right away. If there's a book is out of stock, it's not really out of stock in my Kindle because there's plenty of stock. It's
Yeah.
yellow. So what's the difference with Kindle Unlimited is that it's Amazon blending library. So it's a little bit different than Kindle book. A Kindle book is any book you can buy in its e-reader. At Kindle Unlimited, essentially is Amazon's library. So you pay a fee for $11.99, or you can get it cheaper in different ways. If you buy a new Kindle, you get a free Kindle Unlimited subscription for a couple months, or you can actually buy an annual subscription. The price has decreased. It used to be a really good deal. Now it's no longer like a good deal, but you can find ways to get Kindle Limited. But essentially what you do, you pay a fee, essentially like Netflix, and you can borrow up to 20 books at a time. Some popular books are included, like Fourth Wing, Red, White, Royal Blue. Like a lot of popular books that are out there are available at Kindle Limited where you can borrow them. So you don't have to pay for them, and you can borrow them. You can read them. If the book leaves the program, but you still have borrow them, the book still stays in your library until you return it. So it's a really easy way to try out different authors, different genres, different places. Freida McFadden, all her books are Kindle Limited. So if you want to, you cannot borrow them from the library. They're only exclusive on Kindle Limited. So you can borrow the book, you can read the book, you do all the stuff, the author gets paid, but you don't have to pay for it. You just pay the membership fee.
Gotcha. So so when people say Kindle, it's a way you can read material that's online. Okay, cool. In an electronic format, I should say.
Yeah.
Electronic format, you can read it on the Kindle. Kindle Unlimited is Amazon's whole lending program, their whole catalog, where you pay a subscription fee and you can read books once they're in their catalog. So then you have the readers, so the e-readers, like the one I purchased. This is just a method. So you don't need this in order to read Kindle or Kindle Unlimited, right?
Yeah, you can, as long as you have the Kindle app on your phone, you can read Kindle books. If you have an iPad, you can read Kindle books. If you have a Peloton, you can read Kindle books. If you have a computer, you can read Kindle books. There's a way to access those books. It's just basically you just log into your Kindle app and your library is already there. You won't have missing books. You're like, oh, I don't know. I bought this book 20 years ago. I forgot about it. If you have your Kindle, it's there. It would tell you if you read the book and you're like, wait, I thought I read this book. And it'll be like, oh, it's actually read. I read it this year. So all your books are stored there. It's a pretty easy way. You could save highlights. You can highlight things. You can look for, if you don't understand this word, like what does a word mean? You can actually click on the word and it'll give you the dictionary. It will tell you like the description. It'll tell you what other people are liking. So it's a way to really read and to have your library. Essentially, my Kindle holds 5,000 books that I don't have space for that library.
Yeah, I agree because it's so funny when you were saying, "Oh, I think I have that book. Where is that book?" Like, there is a book I'm literally hunting down right now. I know it's somewhere. It's in a box. It's in a pile. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We can always just go straight here. You can find it. You know if you have it. And I do like it. I also like the convenience, just throwing this in my bag sometimes and just being able to read on the go without lugging a whole bunch of books. So, for someone who is curious about Kindle and reading specifically on Kindle Unlimited, what are some things you think they should know?
So don't get overwhelmed by all the options. There's the one thing we just tell you, there's the world is your oyster and there's so many options. There's a little bit of everything. So if you're getting starting out, just start out with like maybe some of the recommendations you may have seen on social media. Like chances are a lot of recommendations, a lot of creators and people who are starting on this reading journey, they start with Kindle Limited because it's a low cost barrier. You only pay $12. You can try out as many books as you want. No one's telling you not. And you can just DNF those books. You're like, hey, I didn't like this book. Or yes, I love this book. And then I go back to the rest of the series. So it's a great place to get started for you to not feel like if I didn't like it, I didn't lose the money after spending $30 buying a hardcover. And then realize like, oh, this book is not for me. One thing you can do, which I've been doing, is you can send samples of the book. It'll send you the first 10% of the book so you can read a little bit and understand, like, hey, is this book for me? Is the writing works for me? Is this like, does it feel good? Does it hook me that I want to borrow the whole book? You can send a sample, and that's a great way to get started. You're like, hey, this sounds good, but let me just give it a little bit more of a try. Essentially, if you are in a bookstore and you're like scrolling through the books, you're like, let me just sit down and read a few of our pages. Same idea, same vibe, not having to pay for it. Do that, give yourself a chance, try the book. If you like it, then you can just have the option to get the rest of the book. If you don't, you can just, it's totally fine. And for Kindle Unlimited, I would say start out with like some of the recommendations. I think there's a reason why they're tried and true recommendations. Another place you want to look at is the top 100 on the Amazon. Actually, Amazon has like the bestsellers and it usually tells you like, here's what people are looking for. Here's what people are writing. And most of the bestsellers are Kindle Limited titles for a reason because it's Amazon lending library. So it just gives you another step. If you're looking for genre recommendations, I have to say Freida McFadden is a top 100 for a reason. It's really, it's unforgettable. Like they're fun, they're twisty, they're blood, they're not so gory. They're thinky psychological thrillers. And I think those are a really good place to go. And there's enough in the backlist. You can binge read a bunch of them and you're like enjoying the process. And this is a try and true, not for romance readers, but like for general readers. I would say Freida McFadden was like your try and true person. You just like get started, connect, and then there's a whole world of unputdownable thrillers out there. Like you can just like borrow them, and there's like options for read and listen because Amazon actually has their own imprint. And one of the things they do is they publish books on Kindle Limited, but they also publish the audiobook for free that you can borrow the audiobook. So you can do both. You can do tangents.
See, you're reading my mind because I was actually going to say, you told me this really cool thing where you can listen and read. And ever since then, my mind has been blown.
Yes. So one of the things, if you do not Kindle Paperwhite, but the e-reader,
Yeah.
app, if you do that app, you put the audiobook and the book, you can do the both things. Like the audiobook, the narrator is going to read to you, it's narrate you, and it's going to like talk to you about that. You're going to see the words. Another option that Kindle Unlimited does, not Kindle Unlimited, the Kindle does is, and I know Francesca can share this, is screen to text out reader. So this is not a non-book narrator. This is AI basically telling you like it's just like a reader telling you the text reader. So screen to text reader, there's an option for that. So if you have this idea, like, you know what, I need to listen to it at the same time, or I don't have time, I just want to listen to a little bit of pages, that option is available for accessibility purpose.
Yeah, I think that's super, super cool. Again, that was like a mind blown moment. Now, again, like I said at the top, Laura influenced me, which is part of the reason why I have my e-reader. I love it. just because I am that person who's working on a computer all day. So I want something with no glare. It has no light. I sleep. It doesn't wake up my husband. It works for me and my life. Now, when I purchased this, I purchased it on a special. And she also told me, oh, don't do this, do that. And then you'll get this discount and so on. When I tell you, she really is my Kindle guru. She is. So let's say there's someone who's been wanting to get an e-reader for some time. I know you told them don't get obsessed with memory because you have thousands of books and your memory is good. But the holiday seasons are coming up. Maybe someone can write a little note and leave somewhere and someone will give them an e-reader if it's something they so desire. What is something they should look forward to? What is a good time of year in terms of they want to dip their toes into Kindle Unlimited? What are some kind of things for people who are really new and want to get started? What should they look forward to?
So this year we haven't had that many good discounts. So like if you're looking for discounts, like we haven't had that many. We're due for a new model I know the Oasis, which had the buttons, actually was discontinued. So they might be getting a model, but there's some rumbling around it. If you're looking for Kindle, there's a couple ways. If you want to save some money, I just want to start it. I don't want to pay full price. Look at Play Baggage and some of the secondhand stores where you can get like electronic secondhand and you can just give it a refurbished Kindle e-reader. If you're looking for a model that's actually worth the time, I like the Paperwhite because it's a little bit larger. It's comfortable. It's not heavy. You can just get like a nice little cover. You can get a pop socket. You can put stickers. You can decorate. You can get a skin. You can have it like your way. But the Kindle Paperwhite, I like it better because I'm getting older, so I need bigger screen. But if you want a smaller screen, you want like a portable that can fit your Lululemon fill bag, then the basic is the one that could fit for that. It's 6-inch. The other one's 6.8 inches. If you're buying the Kindle, you want to make sure that it gives you the 3-month deal. So the 3-month KU deal, they don't make it that obvious, but there's one that gives you a 3-month preview deal. And that saves you $35. So you might as well just take that basis for $35 and borrow as many books as you want. So you make sure you have the 3-month KU deal. If you have an older Kindle, like an older model, you can trade that older model and they'll give you a 20% discount. And you're likely, depending on the model, you can get $30 gift card or $5 gift card. So that's that's a savings that you're making. So you can do that if you have any, it doesn't matter. You just have to have an older model. You let them know I have an older model. Can you just give me the discount? And so that way you save some money. Like try not to pay full price. It's not worth it. It's Amazon. No, like let's just save some money where we can.
I am team. I never like to pay full price for everything. I am always the person in the store. So sorry, salespeople. If you're out there in sales, I am sorry. But I'm that person who just has to ask, like, is there any sales, any discounts, any promos? What can you do for me? Well, I hope some of these tips that Laura has shared are helpful to you. Again, I got mine on a deal. I got the discounted membership and all the bells and whistles because I paid attention. So needless to say, you all need to follow Laura on Substack because she is sharing the things. Join my email list. She is my Kindle guru, anything Kindle, sales, specials, stuff your Kindle day, earbuds day, all the things. Just follow her, okay? Yes, because she'll give you all the things. So folks, if you use Kindle, let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you. If you like Kindle Unlimited, we'd love to hear from you. Do you have one of the e-readers? Do you read on your phone? How do you read ebooks? Do you even read ebooks? Whatever your situation, we want to hear from you. So let us know in the comments.